Today we'll be going over a handful of updated reports on The Fiend's return and the change in his appearance. We'll also take a look at the story behind the Roman Reigns botch and why Jey Uso has been pulled from everything. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on if you're new, and drop a like below. Let's start things off with the latest update on The Fiend and his return. What's the latest news there? Well, originally, it was reported that Bray Wyatt would make a return sometime before Royal Rumble, and that would lead to a huge gimmick match at the Royal Rumble event between The Fiend and Randy Orton. That was the popular rumor, so everyone was waiting to see if The Fiend would make an appearance before Royal Rumble. The Fiend didn't pop up before Royal Rumble, so that led to everyone to the next theory: a big Royal Rumble return and stopping Randy Orton from winning the match. But that didn't happen either, so we're actually in a good spot of having no idea when he'll return. The mystery is at an all-time high right now. The popular belief now is that WWE will stretch out The Fiend and Randy Orton's storyline and use it as a Wrestlemania program. This whole story between The Fiend and Randy Orton started several months ago in the fall, so it doesn't make much sense for a long-term storyline like this to end at a pay-per-view like Fastlane. It does make sense for WWE to hold out on the match and use it to make WrestleMania's card even stronger, with having The Fiend in-ring return be at WrestleMania. But we are 60 plus days away from WrestleMania at this current point, so let's just say we don't see Bray Wyatt until a few weeks before WrestleMania. What will WWE do to fill all that empty space? All these upcoming episodes of Raw where Bray Wyatt is absent. How will they really build up a feud and a match without one of the competitors being around to help build the hype? Well, this is quite the rare and unique situation for WWE because The Fiend is basically building hype by not being around at all. The whole mystery element of where's Bray Wyatt? Where's The Fiend? Him missing in action is really what's building the hype here for his return. The problem with that is that it may be really hard to live up to these massive expectations everyone has for The Fiend's return. Some fans on social media are already saying that it's starting to feel dragged out and that they should bring back Bray Wyatt right away. But when you think about it, it's only been little over a month, so you need time to build that suspense and hype. We are getting these constant small back and forth interactions between Randy Orton and The Fiend's partner, but it'll be pretty interesting to see Bray Wyatt find a way to play mind games with Randy Orton, even with him not being around on Raw. Maybe more hallucination moments for Randy Orton. Maybe he spots Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, but it turns out to be something else. I think small teasers like that leading up to the return would be pretty interesting. The Fiend's return is probably the most hyped return we've had in a long time because no one knows what's going to happen and what to expect. It'll be great to see The Fiend return in some massive cinematic movie style. Like we talked about in the weeks past, something like him emerging out of fire or something like that. Something that's never been done before and literally feels like a horror movie scene. That would be the perfect fitting for The Fiend. No one wants to just see the lights go out and The Fiend just pops up behind Randy Orton and gives him the claw. That just doesn't sound like it'll live up to the hype of this specific return. It has to be something we've never seen before. On top of the reports about The Fiend and Randy Orton being moved to WrestleMania 37, there's also been a few updates to The Fiend's new look and change in appearance. When The Fiend went out the way he did, the biggest theory that everyone had was that The Fiend would be getting a new mask and a new look. That did seem pretty obvious and just had to happen. There was no way The Fiend was gonna pop up again looking the exact same way he did before the Inferno match. After getting burned from head to toe, there had to be a change in his appearance. It's the only logical thinking that makes sense for the outcome of that Inferno match. Well, reports are now claiming that The Fiend will have, in fact, a change in his appearance. It's a very vague report and doesn't get into any further details. Is that change in his appearance referring to the mask, his entrance jacket, his overall attire? We just don't know right now, but a change is definitely happening. If WWE had this big change for The Fiend planned well in advance, then maybe they were already deep in the process of creating a new mask. Bray Wyatt has some massive Hollywood directors and makeup artists behind his masks, so maybe they're getting together again for something completely new and different. If not, maybe we'll just see a half-burnt, half-normal mask for The Fiend. The possibilities are endless right now for The Fiend's new look and return. We just have to wait and see what route WWE goes in. It's highly speculated that we'll see a new Fiend that has a clean slate and will be stronger than ever before. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Fiend vs. Randy Orton storyline? Is it starting to drag on, or is it doing the right job of hyping up this return? Let us know what you are thinking. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens tore the house down at the Royal Rumble with a brutal and physical last man standing match. It was a phenomenal match from start to finish, but what obviously stood out the most was the botched finish. Kevin Owens handcuffs Roman Reigns to the bottom of a post, and Roman is unable to stand up or break out of it. The referee starts to count to 10, and Roman Reigns shoves the referee down. So that bought him some time to get out of the handcuffs. That was fine, no issue with that. Paul Heyman comes over with the key and goes to free Roman Reigns and get him out on time. The new referee comes out and starts counting right away. It looks like WWE was going for a dramatic finish where Roman Reigns broke out of the handcuffs at the count of 9, but that wasn't happening. Paul Heyman was legitimately struggling to unlock the handcuffs, and the referee was already at a 6 count. That's when the referee broke the rules and just magically stopped counting, allowing Roman Reigns to take his time and get off the handcuffs. This was obviously a botch, and Roman was supposed to get out of the handcuffs pretty fast, but it took longer than expected, leading to a messy finish. There is a way to correct it. Maybe Kevin Owens points it out on Smackdown, and it turns out that the referee was working with Roman Reigns or was threatened by Roman. That may be the one way to cover it up and address it. But yeah, for a referee to just stop counting in a last man standing match really does completely shatter the viewer's immersion. So will WWE address this obvious botch and try to cover it up with a story? Or will they just pretend like everything went according to plan? Another thing that you may have noticed is that Jey has been removed from Smackdown, removed from the Royal Rumble match, and hasn't been seen in several weeks with no explanation given. Obviously, we know it's not a creative issue because Jey is involved in the main event scene with Roman Reigns. So that just leads everyone to believe that Jey might not be medically cleared to compete at this current moment. That's why he hasn't been at Roman's side and wasn't at the Royal Rumble even after he had a whole promo on how he was gonna win and challenge Drew McIntyre. So be on the lookout for Jey's return, and hopefully he turns out to be okay as well. But what are your thoughts on today's wrestling news? Are you looking forward to The Fiend's return? And what are your thoughts on this botched finish from Roman Reigns vs. Kevin Owens? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.